My Apple screensaver word of the day, if I can pronounce this right, was Sisyphean. Sisyphean, meaning a task like Sisyphus. If you remember Sisyphus from your mythology classes and mythology reading, was the man who was punished and sentenced to a lifetime of pushing a rock up a hill. But he never could reach the top. The rock would roll back down to the bottom of the hill and have to start all over again. That's what this journey feels like. 570 days from now, I will attempt to qualify for the Boston Marathon by running the Huntsville, or as they call it, the Rocket City Marathon. It's a double Boston qualifier, which means I have a chance to qualify for both the 2023 and the 2024 Boston Marathon. If I don't make that, I'll try to go another year to be able to do that, so that no later than Patriots Day of 2025, I will run Boston. Tonight, it was one of those days that the day got away from me. I didn't get the miles in, and I got back from our small group Bible study tonight, and I said, I've got to do it. I have to do it. It's 9:30. I'm whipped from a day of meetings and staring into the same camera that I'm staring into right now for all the Zoom meetings, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I mentioned that, and my 14-year-old stepson said, hey, can I go with you? And he is wanting to get better and stronger and faster so he can play wheelchair basketball that much better. If you want to know more about him, you can head over to goziongo.com. That's goziongo.com and check out everything this kid does. But it was fun to have companionship on the miles tonight. And tonight's time bears out that we are stronger and faster and better with someone else. It's the same route that I've been doing for this stretch of my training calendar, and tonight was the fastest by far. It was 4 minutes faster than the night before. So that says a lot. It says a lot about companionship. So here we go. Looking forward to the next time I get to hang with someone else and exercise. I've been thinking today about the things that hold us back. Excuse me, my nose is running. And I'm just going to leave that in because this is raw and honest and transparent that I'm trying to do here. I had my performance appraisal for my job this week. It was my third annual performance appraisal, so I've been there 3 years now. And I love the way our company does it. We have weekly scorecard meetings. We have monthly face-to-face check-ins with no agenda. We have quarterly check-ins to review goals, and we have our annual review. Our CEO and me work together. Our CEO and I work together. Our CEO and I worked together 25 years ago, and annual performance appraisals were horrible. You never knew what was going to be said. You never knew where you stood. And he resolved when he started his own company about 10 years ago that he was going to change that culture, and he has, and I'm grateful for that. But the criticism, and there always has to be criticism, there always has to be things that need improvement, etc. But the three things that needed improvement on my performance appraisal, the three criticisms, are the same criticisms I've been getting for 30 years. I remember my first performance appraisal ever. I was a new full-time employee when I was 22 years old, literally 30 years ago. And the same three issues were discussed in that performance appraisal. So I'm all one for the Strengths Finder book and the idea that we want to pour gasoline on the strengths and mitigate the weaknesses, hire to the weaknesses, so that someone isn't defined by what they can't do, but is known for what they can do. But it's hard. It's hard to hear those things, and it's hard thinking about this training regimen, about the three obstacles I'm going to have between now and 570 days from now. One of those is going to be time. If you've ever trained for a marathon, you probably know that at some point the time investment gets very heavy. And so how do you juggle family and church and job and community obligations in order to have the time you need to train? One of the biggest struggles, probably if not the biggest struggle, the primary struggle, is going to be eating. I love to eat, and I love to eat sweets, and I will not lose the weight I need to lose so that I can get faster and get fast enough and then fuel my body with the right fuel. Okay, if I'm going to be a jet, I need jet fuel. You can't put regular unleaded with 10% ethanol in a fighter jet and expect it to fly Mach 2 with its hair on fire. Move your reference. So I have to eat the right foods to lose the weight so that I can run the speed that I need and not put too much pressure on my knees and joints. And then I have to fuel my body with the right foods to be able to run fast enough. That's going to be a huge obstacle. It's always been an obstacle. It's always been something that's kept me from being better. And the third thing is fear. Just outright fear. I am afraid, what if I fail? What if I can't do this? So that's the Sisyphean. That's the task where I feel like Sisyphus ahead of me over the next 570 days. And however many of you there are, I'm grateful you're along for the journey. And we'll see where this journey takes me and takes us. A lot can change. You know from your own New Year's resolutions that when you set out to do something, it's hard. And you look back a year prior and go, man, my goals changed in the middle of the year. Yeah, they might have. I'm setting out to do something, and this isn't the first time I've set out to do it. I'm Sisyphus again at the bottom of the stinking mountain pushing this rock up. I tried this in 16 and 17, and I got halfway up the mountain. I lost the weight. I had shaved minutes off of my mile pace, and injury. And here comes the rock rolling over me down at the bottom of the hill. So we'll see where this journey goes, and we'll see how many times I have to start pushing the rock again. But I resolve to qualify for the Boston Marathon. Have a good night.